Hey guys, Wade Willis here, talking to you today about Fruits Basket Season 2, Episode 22. It's Cinderella-ish. And guys, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the page while you're here. Now, I'm not going to lie, I was totally wrong in hoping that they kept Toru's characters like an evil, evil stepsister and Kyo as basically a bougie prince. And like, I thought it would be funnier the way it was originally cast and the script was, but boy was I wrong, because the way they wrote this whole play was hilarious. This was by far the funniest episode I think of either season. I was dying multiple times. Saki's personality as Cinderella, just in the all black, and how sassy and just cold she is, was really funny and kind of refreshing for how Cinderella is usually portrayed. Toru as the non-evil stepsister was actually really funny, and having her not try to be evil actually made the plot of the play go a lot better, I thought. And then I liked it a lot. Everyone was kind of cast. The evil stepmother in it was just the evil stepmother in the regular Cinderella is obviously evil, but this girl dialed it up to like an 11 out of 10 in just being extra, like trying to make up for Toru not being evil. So it was actually really funny. And so it was, she forces Saki's character Cinderella to make these dresses and stuff. And then Yuki has his entrance is hilarious. There's like all these people like taking pictures. He's the fairy godmother basically, and people are crying. It was hilarious. Every time he came onto the stage, it killed me, the responses of the crowd. And he asks, you mean Cinderella, for a wish, and then she's basically says like, oh, I'd like for the ballroom to be burned to ashes. And he's like, no, that's too dark, can you pick a different one? And then she ends up picking Yakiniyuki, and which is like, she wanted meat, but that's what she picks is like her wish, and he's just like super confused. And I also loved how the narrator was basically forcing the characters in the play to continue on their path, and it seemed to me like there was also like ad-libbing that during the play that was not part of the script. Obviously people were like, Kyo would like react and Toru would react in certain situations when they would hear it, but I think part of it was due to ad-libbing too. And oh my gosh, the Arisa as the other prince was priceless as well. Her best line when Kyo's being like sassy, not wanting to dance or anything, she's like, this is why you're still a virgin. And I laughed out loud at that part. It was it was awesome. And then the Somas are like, I can't believe that she actually just said that. I think it was Hiro who said that. Hilarious. And it was really funny how they just, her character was just so like almost lifeless, which is how Saki's character was super like, you mean just lifeless, not, you mean putting effort in. There's a part where like when she gives Kyo her slipper and she just puts the chopsticks in there, he's like, I mean, I felt nothing there. He's like, I understand that's coming from me, but she put no effort into that. It was, oh my god, so funny. And I was really impressed with how they made this episode so fun. It's one of the funniest episodes I've seen of an anime that's not, supposed to just be a pure comedy. And even funnier than most. Like, this episode was funnier than like a lot of pure comedy shows could even hope for. So I was incredibly impressed. And probably the most important part is where I believe it was Saki. No, it was either Saki or Arisa. Basically, made a reference to Kyo being locked up in the castle and things like that. And this was obviously like a metaphor to, the writer did it, for his future. If he doesn't end up beating Yuki, he's gonna be like locked away like his grandfather was. So Toru actually like loses it and like kind of like breaks character and is like, I don't want, and then realizes, oh shoot, I like messed up the play. It was funny, it was cute, everything you expect from Toru, like amazing girl. And yeah, it was just, you saw the emotion that she had and how much she's worried about Kyo being locked away. Like, she loves him, and Kyo was kind of dealing with, he hasn't really accepted the fact that Toru loves him yet. I don't think, and based on the end of the episode, I think both of them have not accepted that. And yeah, it was just, this show does an amazing job with, they have funny things going on, and then they kind of like plant seeds of really important things that are going to come up, that if you're not really paying attention, you're going to miss, but you'll catch it eventually. But the writing in this is truly amazing. I don't know how the writer did this. It was awesome. And once the play's over, Saki runs into Kazuma Sensei, and she, like, all of a sudden, it's funny because while she's playing Cinderella, she's playing basically herself as Cinderella. And then when she runs into Kazuma, she's like immediately attracted to him, and she's like turning on the charm and just it's super funny because she's more Cinderella-like when she's trying to hit on Kazuma than she was as Cinderella. It was pretty great. And Kyo's like, he knows how she really is, and he's creeped out by her, and he's just like, Sensei, you can't get married, and he's oblivious to that the girl was hitting on him. Yeah, then Kyo's upset that his dad is there, and Haru basically is like, yeah, it was admits to basically doing it, and Kyo says to him, you wouldn't want your parents like watching you either. And this was, again, they just sprinkle that in, and seeing Kazuma's reaction to hearing Kyo basically refer to him as his parent was priceless. And I'm sure a lot of you guys also really enjoyed that part too. And yeah, I loved it. They flash to Hiro, and he's with Haru, and he kind of snaps at Haru about Rin, and then Haru calls Hiro out, basically like, are you in love with Rin? And then then you notice that Kisa is like, Hiro likes Rin. So this is going to be another important subplot coming up in the future, I think, that Hiro, we all know he's in love. He's in love with Kisa, but now Kisa, and I was unsure of how Kisa felt, but based on her reaction, I think that she might feel the same way about him. Yeah, I'm excited to see how that unfolds, and obviously they're super young, but it is interesting. I'm like, they're both two really interesting characters, and I'm excited to see what happens with them. And then we get to and I completely forgot to mention about Arisa in the play having the whole where she's just ranting about her love. And I just I like that part that she just starts. It's right in line for her character, and I hope it works out with her, but probably not. I think of all the possible relationships, that one might be the least likely to happen, but I don't know if you guys, I mean, don't comment and tell us what's going to happen for people that haven't seen it, but if you haven't read forward in the light novel manga or seen the original, what do you guys think? Do you think Arisa actually has a chance to marrying him? I don't, or ending up with him? I don't. I think that's not the best chance, but I hope I'm wrong, because I like her a lot and I want her to be happy. Yuki is kind of patrolling the halls then, and he sees that Machi's being bullied by part of Yuki's fan club. They're pissed that she said he wasn't a prince, which is so strange to be bullied for a reason to be bullied. And they're like, you need to apologize. She's like, I'm sorry. And they're like, no, you can't just apologize, which is in line for Yuki's fan club. And the VP prevents Yuki from intervening and kind of tells Yuki, if you get involved with these girls who are like in love with you, it's only going to make things worse, which is logical, to be honest, and very true. The VP, he's hilarious. I mean, he's so funny and really probably one of the most intelligent characters in the show too. And I don't know, book smart, probably not very book smart, but the way he perceives things and can kind of pull strings is really impressive. And Yuki's kind of creeping, listening to make sure that it doesn't become actually physical. And these girls that are in love with Yuki and basically stalk him, they really don't know him at all. But we kind of would have assumed that because they put him up on a pedestal. They look at him as like almost, a god, as opposed to looking at Yuki as Yuki. And Machi says, yeah, like she sees him as an airhead, which really affects Yuki. He's like, what? Like, she sees me as an airhead? And then she says, yeah, and he looks lonely. And the fan club gets super upset with this, and they're telling her, oh, you're trying to sound smart, but it's true. And this really resonates with Yuki because he is lonely, and he's sad, basically. I mean, he's more happy now, but he's been lonely his whole life. And Machi's really the only one that has seen that just by looking at him. And she gets Yuki in a way that Yuki kind of sees no one really has before. Toru is as supportive as anyone can be, but I don't think that she will ever understand Yuki to the degree that Machi probably does. And Machi, now that I'm thinking about it, she's dealt with the whole inheriting stuff from her family as well. So she does have that aspect that she can also relate to Yuki in, and I honestly hadn't really thought about it until after watching this episode. So that kind of makes sense too. The girls, eventually one of the girls like pushes Machi, and then over the intercom, one of the girls basically announces that like in like 20 minutes or something, they're gonna have you can take a photo with Yuki, and the fan club goes nuts, runs away. You find out obviously the VP is the one who planned the whole thing, and his exchange with Yuki talks about how Machi basically says that he's an airhead, and the VP's like, "Oh, you just realized this?" And he mentions that she says he's not a prince, and then he tells him, "Yeah, you're like the princess instead," which is pretty amazing response about it. And then the episode ends with Toru and Kyo running into each other, and both of them like say in their heads, "I won't let myself think it," and I think both of them are starting to maybe believe that the other person loves them, which everyone in the show realizes that except for them, I guess. But yeah, I'm excited. Like, there's so much that's been planted. You have this stuff with